How's it going, everybody? I'm going to make a tier list because content. And this is not going to be edited at all. I'm just going to do a one take straight through. I have some amazing photos that I've gathered on here to represent our racers for season 2 of Next. So in preparation of the draft, I thought this would just be like a funny content video to kind of have fun with here. So let's just jump right in. This is in no particular order. You can see my tiers over here. I have championship contenders. Don't mind the P there. I have top 5 guys. These are people that I maybe would not say I would choose for the title, but in any given race, they could potentially end up top 5. We have wild cards, which are like, I really don't know. I've seen speed from them, but they could finish anywhere from 5th to like 11th or something. We have the unproven guys who are really just like, I haven't seen them enough on track to justify any particular ranking. So it's kind of like unknown out in the ether. And then low, just because I had to have an extra category. So I don't think anyone's going in low. Okay, we'll start here with Barry Barrows. I think firmly we can say that he is in the championship contender category, given his performance in the preseason race at Black Rock. He put up a challenge against the Venom Fallacy. He had the fastest lap of the race. Venom ended up taking it with some of that like racecraft experience, but Barry was definitely flying, led a few laps. So if he continues to show out in that same way and shows up prepared for these events, then I could definitely see him stacking some wins, especially if he continues to up his level of racecraft. So I think Barry is firmly in championship contender mode. BLH, back in the racing scene. I'm going to throw him in wild card because, back in the really, really old ORL Halo Reach Supercross days, this is a guy that came in and just like lapped everybody and was like crushing. But those guys in the ORL were also not very good. So he's still been around recently, making some like fun like SMX type of tracks, and so he's like been driving the Halo 4 Mongoose. So I think he's still got some chops there, and if he actually commits to a season, I could definitely see him being one of those consistent top 5 guys by the end. But for now, I'm going to put him in a wild card. I am going to also put Chosen in that wild card category. He won the heat and the main event in dramatic fashion, as we saw at the newcomers event. And that was really cool to see. But at the same time, I mean, he's had so much like growth over the last like 9 months or so. Like, this is a guy that was being lapped multiple times in every Supercross race, and now like he's a Supercross winner, you can, in some regard. So we saw, I mean, he was like similar pace with like Paid to Drive and Captain Rex in that race, and those guys are newcomers, so it is kind of like wild cardy, but he has more experience than those guys, so it's kind of interesting. Next, we're gonna go with Derpzilla. I'm gonna throw, this could be a hot take. I'm gonna throw Derp in top 5 guys. And maybe that's biased because Derp was like my OG like beta teammate in Jai's the last season. But I just think he's a guy that kind of like gets it. He understands the mechanics, and once he continues to stack race experience, he could be pretty dangerous. It was cool to see him snag the podium in the last preseason event. Again, I think I said Black Rock the last time, but I meant aggregate. So yeah, beat out Elite for that 3rd place spot, got 3rd in the heat and 3rd in the main as well. So showing that he consistently has that pace. He was quite a bit of a ways off pace of the guys like Barry and the Venom Fallacy, but that's why those guys are in the championship contender spot, spoiler alert. Next we have Doland. I had to think for a second about who this was. Doland, I'm going to put in the unproven category. I just haven't seen enough Supercross from him. I hope that he's going to continue to commit to the season. And he was battling with Black Spectre in our newcomers event. Black Spectre actually got the better of him. But he has been battling for like wins, I think, right? And podiums in the Ignition series, like the main Ignition series. Like I think he's kind of become like one of the regulars over there in like the top 5. So obviously that's more of his like playing grounds. But maybe he can bring some of that, you know, front runner experience over to a different avenue and show us some interesting things in that regard. Next we got Dom. I'm going to throw Dom in the wild cards category, if nothing else, just because of his internet, right? I mean, like, I feel like he's had speed even dating back to last season of Next, but it's just like tough to see him fade back towards the end of races or even at the beginning of races, like at aggregate, like just immediately as soon as we were starting like the lobby, it was like just flying, like teleporting. So, rumor has it he's getting a new modem. I hope that helps because I'd love to see what Dom is actually capable of. I think he's been learning and picking up speed, and so I'd like to see him get some of that experience and actually show what he's able to do. Next we have Elite. Man, it's kind of tough. I'm gonna throw Elite. I'm going to throw Elite in top 5 guys. I think he'll kind of hover, and it depends on like who is in the race at a given time, I would say. But I think he can hover from that 5th to like 7th place area pretty consistently. And if he can like, you know, get the racecraft experience of Supercross and be a little bit more determined to drive through the pack, then I could see him being a more consistent, like, you know, anywhere from 5th to 7th place guy and maybe sneaking into the top 5. Fireball would be in my championship contenders. I can't get it up there. Can't get it up. Nice. Okay, one sec. We're going to have to do that and then this. Perks of being on a Mac. Fireball unfortunately works on the days of the week that we're voting on currently. It's looking like Saturday. That Saturday time slot is going to be the one that we go with, and unfortunately Fireball wouldn't be available, but if he was available, then the winner last year, of course, in dramatic fashion in that preseason race, he definitely would be up there. It might even be the championship favorite over guys like Barry and the Venom Fallacy, just given what he's been able to show in the mainline series recently. Casey Congo, I'm going to put in unproven, which kind of sounds funny because he's been in the Halo racing scene for so long, but I haven't actually been able to see him like commit to races consistently. So I'm just going to put him here for now. He showed flashes in Next last season where it was like, oh, he could throw down like a hot lap here and there, but over the course of like a long race, it just felt like he would fall off. So I'm looking for more out of Congo. And he has so much experience. Like he used to like win races in ORL and compete for like championships and podiums. So there's something in there to be pulled out. I just like, I'm not sure what that will look like. Coop Boop, I'm going to put in the wild card category. I think that makes sense alongside a guy like Dom. Coop and Dom have kind of been in the scene for a similar amount of time. And Coop, you know, is not a Supercross-oriented guy, first and foremost. Of course, our resident render creator for all the Spartans and stuff like that, even the Spartans that you're going to be seeing in some of the graphics for like the team draft stuff. So love what he's adding to the community, both like as a creator and as a competitor. I think I'd like to see him like have a little bit more drive to try to battle up with the likes of some of these guys, with like the BLHs and maybe even some of those top 5 guys. So that'll be interesting. Paid to drive. I think also you know, kind of caveat or like kind of funny, or I don't know what I'm trying to say, but there's going to be lots of wild cards just because I feel like that's what we have here in Next. But obviously had such a good performance in the newcomers event. Looked like he was going to be, you know, beating Chosen. Maybe I'll order these tiers like towards the end of it. But clearly showed that he has like a competitive drive and a desire to win, and even seeing like the way that it affected him to not take the dub in the fashion that it happened, I think kind of goes to show what the potential is there. Anyone that like hates to lose probably has a decent chance to win. So Paid to Drive, I'm going to throw in that wild card category as well. This is Mr. Pissed. Also going to go in wild card because we haven't seen him on track for a while. He was competing, like he can throw down a hot lap. Like I think if he like really committed and cared, then I would throw him up there with like the elites and the derps in the top 5. We just haven't seen him for a little bit, and I don't know if he's competing quite yet. I didn't add him to the team thing. So I have a couple guys on here that like I don't know if they're even going to be drafted or want to be drafted. Captain Rex, this is kind of an interesting one because he competed with Chosen in the heat race, almost won the heat race in the newcomers event, and that was his first ever, you know, race, right? And then yes, it's like Warthog stuff, and yes, it's his own tracks, but he was also like, you know, beating like some of our regulars in his like Warthog event. And I know that's not the same thing, but this is a guy that is very familiar with moto, understands the mechanics already, just kind of seeing how he's picking up on things. I think I can't justifiably put him any higher than like wild card right now, so I'm just gonna put him in wild card. But I could see him being a guy that definitely grows a lot throughout the season. Next, we got Squeezu. If Squeezu shows up and actually has the like desire to perform, then he's up here in the top 5 guys for sure. Like this is a guy that was beating Elite and Derp like every race in Next last season. So if he actually wants to show up and perform, I think his attendance will be hit or miss just based off what he's been telling me. Then that could be quite interesting. Next, we got Treeman Glenn, who has said that he wants to race in the season, so he is on the draft list. I'm going to throw him in unproven because it's been a while. It's been since like Jais, since we've really seen him do anything. And, you know, like you have the whole field in that series, so it's kind of a hard comparison to make. But he was at the back of like the pack in that series. So definitely interested to see what he can do when he commits more full time to racing. But for now, I'm going to throw him in unproven. The Venom Fallacy, to nobody's surprise, is going to be up there in championship contenders. This is someone who beat Barry straight up in our most recent preseason race. This is someone who has podiums in mainline HT Supercross series, which is the only racer in this field that can say that, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I think Fireball may have gotten a podium in the most recent HTSX season towards the very end. I would need to go back and verify that, or someone can comment and verify that. So it's either just the Venom Fallacy or Venom and Fireball, but again, Fireball's not even competing. So in the active field, the Venom Fallacy is the only guy that's gotten a podium in a mainline HT Supercross race of this field. And he said it himself in the post-race interview. He feels like he's still learning and getting better, even as of recently. And I think he kind of is already bearing the burden of recognizing that he is the championship favorite right now. I'll just like reorder this as we're talking about it, if I can. I don't know if I can. I'll reorient this here. So I think that's going to be super interesting. It's kind of set out to be a Venom versus Barry championship, but I think We might have some interesting... Those guys historically struggle with their starts, so having to come through a field of guys like Derp or BLH or Elite or Squeezoo or all these wild cards, like anybody, you just never really know. And then Vulcan, I'm also going to put in the wild card category, simply because we haven't seen him like since Next, and he was definitely getting better. He was getting more towards that like consistent top 8, top 10 territory when we were doing Next last season, but we haven't seen him since then, so he hasn't been like getting the reps in the way that some of these other guys have. So now that we have this set up, let's see if we can kind of like reorient what's going on here. I think I would probably have the order of this here. So Glenn, Congo, Doland at this point in the unproven category. The wild cards, I would say it's hard to not have Chosen near the front here because he did take that newcomers race. I would have Vulcan up here as well, maybe even ahead of Chosen, just based off last season's results. I would have Paid to Drive around this area as well. Mr. Pissed honestly like has the speed to probably be around like here. Captain Rex is a really interesting character, maybe the most interesting of all of the racers like in this category, because like we saw like I mean, it's hard to say that, like it's not really fair for me to say that about him and not say the same thing about Paid to Drive, because Paid to Drive beat him in that race, right? So probably have to like order it like this. And then simply because of the internet thing, probably have Dom at the back end of this category. But I think when Dom's on, like he could definitely, you know, you could swap this, you could even swap this here, but for now we're just going to put it here. Top 5 guys, I think I would put it in this order because Dirt beat Elite straight up in our most recent event. Squeezoo was beating these guys consistently before, and then we kind of already ordered the championship contenders right there. So I don't know if that accounted for everybody. I think I have a couple extras even, but that is kind of a for fun tier list there, just a one-take tier list. Obviously I didn't spend a whole bunch of time thinking about it, so I apologize if people feel like they got like slided or anything, but just for fun content here as we prep for the draft later on tonight. So I'll try to get this uploaded on YouTube so people can have some fun watching this, and the team leaders can kind of get a preview of what they'll be looking at on the draft board. So thanks for watching, and see ya.